wait, just a minute. Hang on, just a minute. Mother!
Yes, dear?
Telephone.
Oh, not now. There's so many people in there. Tell them I'm busy.
Oh, but Mother, it's the society editor of the Evening News Beat.
Oh, she's very important, Miss Hillary. Hello, Miss Hillary. This is Venus Simmons. Yes, it's a tea. A program tea for the Wednesday afternoon forum. My mother, the late Marcella Penny Dowd, came by Ox Team and was the pioneer cultural leader and founded the Wednesday Forum. The guest list? Oh, well, I'll get to that in a minute. I'll have to tell you how many there are first. Where am I having?
Oh, 75 at least. Say 100.
There are 75. Miss Tweaksbury is our soloist, accompanied by Will McCurdy.
Miss Tweaksbury's almost finished with her number.
Oh, she'll do an encore.
What if they don't give her a lot of applause?
I know her for years. She'll do it fine. You might say I was assisted in hosting today by my daughter, Myrtle May Simmons. What color is that?
Oh, Rachel Rose told me.
Yes. Myrtle looked charming in her Rancho Rose gown, with touches of magenta and emerald. Oh, I wish you could see her.
Please, she's almost finished. And where's the cateress?
Don't worry, everything is ready. Now, when she finishes singing, we open the dining room doors, and then we begin pouring. The parlors and the halls were festooned with smilax. Yes, festooned. Yes. That's right, Miss Hillary. This is the first time we've had a party in a number of years. But we don't want to get that. There is a reason, but we don't want it in the papers. We all have our troubles, don't we, Miss Hillary?
Please.
All right. Miss Hillary, I'll call you back later with the guest list. Goodbye.
Mother, Miss Chauvenet came in.
Oh, Miss Eugene Chauvenet Senior. Her father was a skirt Buffalo Bill.
So that's where she got that hat.
The name must be nice to Miss Chauvenet. She has a grandson about your age.
Oh, but what difference will it make with Uncle Elwood?
Now, little man, remember we promised that we would not talk about that today. This point of the whole party is to get you started. We work with the older women to get to the younger.
Oh, but we can't have anyone here in the evenings, and that's when men come and see you in the evenings. The only reason we can even have a party this afternoon is because Uncle Elwood's playing pinochle at the 4th Avenue Firehouse. Thank God for that firehouse.
Well, Myrtle May, they will just have to come and take you out, and it won't hurt them one little bit. Oh, Myrtle May, you have so much going for you. I don't care what anybody says. Every young woman has a sweetness about it. And a man takes that sweetness and look what he does with it. But you've got to meet somebody, Myrtle May. You just got to.
Well, if I do, they say, that's Myrtle May Simmons. Her uncle is Edward P. Dowd, the big
You promise?
All right, let's take them into the dining room.
Now, when they come back in here, I want you to give your welcome speech on behalf of your grandmother and make sure you do this.
Okay, well, after that, I'll mention my Uncle Elwood.
owns the house. We live with Elwood. Elwood does not with us.
We live with him and Harvey. Did grandmother know about Harvey?
I wondered about that. She never wrote me and told me she did.
Well, why did she have to leave all her property to Uncle Elwood?
Well, I suppose it's because she died in his arms. People are so little about things like that.
Oh, you always say that. It doesn't make sense. She didn't make out her will after she died, could she?
Oh, Mermaid, don't be didactic. It's unbecoming in a young woman, and men learn it. Now, remember, when they come in here, make sure you do this.
Yes, I'll do my best.
Oh, Mrs. Tewksbury is certainly failing.
Oh, but not fast enough.
Now, if you excuse me, I have to go answer that phone, but you make yourself comfortable, Harvey. Hello? Oh, you've got the wrong number, but how are you anyway? My name is Elwood P. Dow. That'll do? Well, thank you. And what is your name, my dear? Miss Elsie Greenewalt. Harvey, it's Miss Elsie Greenewalt. How are you this evening, Miss Greenewalt? Yes. Yes, my dear, I would be happy to join your club. I'm already a part of a few clubs already. The University Club, and the Country Club, and the Pinnacle Club over at the 4th Avenue Firehouse. I spend most of my time there or over at Eddie's Bar or Charlie's Place. What's the name of your club, my dear? Harvey, I give Ladies' Home Journal, Good Housekeeping, and Open Road for Boys for 2 years for $2.65. Yes, that sounds good to me. I'll join. Harvey, did you want to join too? Harvey says he wants to join also. Yes, 2 subscriptions, send them right here to this address. You know, I'd really like to meet you, Miss Greenewalt. She says she wants to meet me too. When? When would you like to meet me? How about right now? My sister seems to be having some friends over, and we would be honored if you would join us. Oh, she'll be absolutely delighted. 343 Temple Drive. I hope to see you in very few minutes. Goodbye, my dear. She's coming right over. Do you think we should freshen up before she gets here? So do I.
I can't seem to remember where I put that guest list. I must call Miss Elodie. Have you seen it, Miss Johnson?
No, I haven't, Mrs. Simmons.
Oh, would you mind looking on my dresser upstairs, please?
Mother Miss Chauvenet, she's asking for you.
Vita Louise Simmons! I thought you were dead.
Oh my, she looks ghastly. Hasn't she failed though? Ooh, well, you think she looks badly, you ought to see him. Really? I must have them over for dinner. What up, tea, Vita? Oh, certainly, if you will forgive me, I will proceed. Oh, it's so lovely to have her here. Elwood! Elwood down! Bless your heart! Oh!
Ethel, what a pleasure it is to come in and find a beautiful woman waiting for me.
Elwood, you have not changed. Aunt Ethel, you must miss the
Oh, yes, there's punch if you don't like tea.
Yeah, but I do like tea. Now, go with me, you two. Elwood, what next week night can you come by for dinner?
Any night at all. I would be delighted, Aunt Ethel.
Wonderful. Elwood, some mail came for you today. I took it up to your room.
You did? Well, that was nice of you. And now I would like to introduce you to Harvey. He's a puka. This is Miss Charbonnet. She's one of our oldest and dearest friends. We always call her Aunt Ethel. Yes, that's right. This is the one. She is the one. He said he would have known your face anywhere. Oh, you both look lovely. Now come along, Harvey. We need to go say hello to all of our friends. Oh, I beg your pardon, Aunt Ethel.
What?
Would you excuse me? You're standing in his way. You go on in there. I'll be right behind you. Aunt Ethel, I can see you're disturbed about Harvey. But don't be. He stares at everybody like that. It's his way. He likes you, though. I could tell. He likes you very much.
I must be gone. I must be ready along. Oh, no, I'll be talking to you soon. Goodbye.
Oh, God, oh, my God.
Mermaid, where are you going?
Oh, up to my room. He's introducing Harvey to everybody. I can't face those people now. I wish I were dead.
Mermaid, stay here with me. We'll get him out of here and up to his room
Oh,
somehow.
I won't do it. I can't.
Come here. Let's pretend we're putting on your poor side.
Oh, Mother.
Oh, now, let's pretend we're having a good little chat. Smile. Now, look on the lookout for Uncle Elwood. And let him know when you catch his eye. He always comes when I call him. Now, do you see him yet?
No, not yet. Oh, how do you do, Mrs. Cummings?
Well, we've got to make it work. Yes. All right.
Mother, people get run over by trucks every day. Why can't something like that happen to Uncle Elwood?
I'm ashamed of you. This is not your uncle's fault. He cannot help it. Well, let's get this thing on you.
How did you stick me with that pen? Oh, Mrs. Cummings is leaving. Uncle Elwood must have told her what Harvey is. Oh, God.
Oh, put it on yourself. I'm not going to silly. Hey, this is Miss Simmons. Should you come in what you have on? Oh, what have you on?
him when you said none of this is Uncle Elwood's fault.
Don't you worry about that. I know whose fault it is, but it's not going to happen again. Now get in there and keep smiling or hold your head up.
You're no match for Uncle Elwood.
Well, you'll see.
Mother's waiting for you.
Yes, sister. Oh, one moment, Harvey.
Elwood, dear. I would like it if you would stay here for the rest of the party. I have something very important to discuss with you.
Of course, I have a little bit of free time on my hand, and you're welcome to all of it. Would you like Harvey to stay too?
Yes, I certainly would.
Jane Austen. You better sit down, Harvey. Vita wants to talk to us, and it sounds very important. She probably wants to congratulate us on the impression we're making at the party. Oh, Jane Austen. Deluxe edition, Rawson and Dunlap. Usual acknowledgments. Chapter 1.
Drive, is that correct?
We were born and raised there. It's old, but we love it. It's our home.
And you wish to enter your brother here at the sanitarium for treatment. Your brother's name? Mrs. Simmons, what is your brother's name?
Oh, this isn't easy for me. I suppose I'll just have to keep my head up and keep going on just the same. That's what I told Myrtle, and that's what Myrtle May told me. She's so heartbroken about her Elwood. Elwood P. Dow, that's it.
Elwood P. Dow, his age?
47, the 24th of last April. He's Taurus, the bull. I'm Leo. And Myrtle is on the cusp.
47 years old. Is he married?
No. Elwood was never married. He stayed at home, mother. He was a great home boy. He loved his home.
Do you have him with you now?
Why, yes. He's in the taxi down in the driveway. I paid the driver an extra $1 to watch him. I didn't want him to know what was going on. You can't tell these things to a perfect stranger.
Mr. Wilson, would you step down to the taxi cab in the driveway and ask Mr. Dowd if he'd be good to step up to room number 24 South Wing G?
Ask him.
This is his sister, Mrs. Simmons.
Why, certainly. Be glad to escort him.
The rates here, Mrs. Simmons.
Dowd. Judge Gaffney is our attorney.
Now I'll see if Dr. Sanderson can see you.
Dr. Sanderson? Oh, I want to see Dr. Chumley himself.
Oh, Mrs. Simmons. Dr. Sanderson sees everybody here. Dr. Chumley sees nobody.
Well, he is the head of this institution, isn't he? He's still a psychiatrist, isn't he?
Still a psychiatrist, Mrs. Simmons. He's more than that. Dr. Chumley is a psychiatrist with a national reputation. Whenever anyone has a mental breakdown, they at once think of Dr. Chumley.
Well, that's his office, isn't it? Well, you march right in there and tell him I want to see him.
Oh.
If he knows who's out here, he'll come out here.
Mrs. Simmons, I wouldn't dare disturb him. I'd be discharged if I did.
I will not be pushed off onto any second fiddle.
Mrs. Simmons, Dr. Sanderson is nobody's second fiddle. He's young, and he hasn't been out of school very long. But Dr. Chumley tried 12 doctors and kept Dr. Sanderson. He's wonderful. Oh, for the patients.
Well, very well. So long here.
By the way,
Here. Here.
Vita, isn't this wonderful? Mrs. Simmons.
Oh, you startled me. You're Dr. Sanderson?
Yes, will you please be seated?
Well, I hope you don't think I'm jumpy like that all the time.
Of course not. Miss Kelly tells me that you are concerned about your brother. Dowd, is it? Elwood P. Dowd?
This isn't easy for me, Doctor.
Naturally, these kinds of situations are never easy on the families of patients. I understand.
It's what Elwood is doing to himself, that's the thing. And Myrtle May has a right to nice friends. She's my daughter.
Your daughter. And how long has it been that you've noticed any peculiarities in your brother's actions?
Well, I noticed it right away when Mother died and Myrtle May and I came back to live with Elwood. I could see that he...
He what, Mrs. Simmons? He what? Take your time. Don't strain. Let it come. I'll wait.
Oh, Doctor. Everything I say to you is confidential, isn't it?
That's understood.
Because it's a slap in the face to everything we stood for in this community, the way Elwood is acting now.
I am not a gossip, Mrs. Simmons. I am a psychiatrist.
Well, for one thing, he drinks.
To excess.
To excess? Well, I don't know what it is excess when a man can't go a night without going into one of those cheap taverns and hanging out with riffraff and people you don't even know. And he brings them home and plays cards with them and gives them food and money. And here I am trying to introduce Merlin to a nice crowd. Now, if that isn't excess, I'm sure I don't know what that is.
I didn't doubt your statement, Miss Simmons. I merely asked if your brother drinks.
Well, yes, I'd say he certainly does. And I want him committed out here permanently because I cannot stand another day in that house with that Harvey. And just can't stand it. He's living there and he's ruining everything there ever was to be at the house. Well,
Mrs. Simmons, this person you call Harvey, who is he?
well, he's a rabbit.
What? Perhaps, but exactly who is he? A friend of one of your brothers whom you picked up at one of these bars, of whom you disapprove?
Doctor, I've been telling you. Harvey is a rabbit. A big white rabbit. And he lives in our house. And he's 6 feet or 6.5 feet. I
saying exactly?
Don't you understand? I am trying to tell you that my brother's best friend in the world is a big white rabbit. His name is Harvey. He lives in our house. Mermaid and I have to set the table for him. We have to move over on the sofa to make room for Harvey. When Elwood calls, we have to call Harvey to the telephone. Doctor, I'm going to tell you something. I don't want you to repeat it to anybody. I'm ashamed of it. Sometimes I see that big white rabbit. I'm ashamed of it. And what's more, he's every bit as big as Elwood says he is. Now, don't you tell that to anybody. I'm ashamed of it. I'm ashamed of it. I don't mind it. No.
Mrs. Simmons, I can see that you have been under a great nervous strain recently.
I certainly have.
I would say grief over your mother's death has left you depressed.
Oh, nobody knows how much.
Losing sleep.
Who can sleep with all that going on?
Short-tempered over trifles.
You try living with those two and see how your chamber holds.
Loss of appetite.
Who can eat with that man rabbit at the table? Oh, I'm sick of it! I am sick of it! I'm going to sell the house and become a conservator! And then little May and I can entertain our friends in peace.
Of course, Miss Simmons. Of course. You're tired. You have been bearing a heavy weight.
You just don't know.
You just stay right here and don't move, and I'll be right back.
Thank you, Doctor. And I'll just go down to the taxi and get Elwood's things. Oh. It really is a big white rabbit.
Why didn't anyone answer the buzzer?
We didn't do, Doctor.
Well, I rang and I rang. Mrs. Simmons, sound the gong, Wilson. We mustn't let that poor woman leave the grounds.
She's made with a getaway, huh, Doc?
Go ahead, Wilson. Her condition is serious.
I can't believe it.
Main gate. Henry, it's Dr. Sanderson. We are looking for a patient. You mustn't let anyone out through the main gate. I would have never left her alone, but no one answered the buzzer.
Wilson was in South, Doctor.
What do we have available, Miss Kelly?
Number 13, Upper West R is ready, Doctor.
All right. Have her taken up there immediately, and I'll prescribe preliminary treatment. You must contact her brother. Downs and Elwood P. Dowd. Can you get him on the phone, Mrs. Kelly?
Oh, but Doctor, I thought that the woman was fine. She said the treatment was for her brother.
Of course she did. It's one of the oldest dodges in the book. Why, she probably knew her brother was going to try and have her committed, so she came out here to discredit him ahead of time. Get him on the phone, Miss Kelly.
But Doctor, I thought the woman was okay. I had Wilson take the brother up to number 24 South Lane G. He's there now.
You had Wilson take the brother? No, yeah, Miss Kelly, please, tell me you're joking.
Yeah, Doctor, I did. I'm terribly sorry.
Oh, well, if you're sorry, that fixes everything. Oh, no.
I'll do it, Doctor. I'll take care of it. Mrs. Dunphy, would you please unlock the boardroom door and give Mr. Dow his clothes and
tell him to come down to the office right away.
and ask him to come down to the office right away. There's been a terrible mistake, and Dr. Sanderson would like to explain.
Explain, apologize.
Thank goodness she hadn't put him in the hydro tub. She's sending him down.
Beautiful and dumb too. Almost the perfect woman.
Doctor, I didn't know. Judge Gaffney called earlier, said Mrs. Simmons would be here with her brother, and when they came, you don't have to be sarcastic.
Oh, don't I? Don't worry, we'll squirm out of this somehow.
Where are you going?
Well, gotta talk to the chief, Kelly. You probably want to know about this. Maybe want to handle it.
He'll be furious. He'll die. I know he will, and then he'll terminate me.
The responsibility is all mine, Kelly.
Oh no, Doctor, please tell him it was all my fault.
I never mentioned your name, except in my sleep.
But this man's out.
You gotta keep him here, Kelly. I'll be right back.
But what do I say? What do I do? He'll be furious.
He'll probably be fit to be tied, but he's a man, is he?
I guess so. His name is Mr.
Well, go into the old routine, you know, the eyes, the swish, the works. I mean, I'm immune to it, but I've seen it work on other people, other patients around here. Keep him here, Kelly, even if you've got him to a striptease.
Oh, aren't you just wonderful, Dr. Sanderson? You're the most wonderful person I ever met.
Yeah, well, how about giving me a lift here just the same?
What?
That Simmons thing.
Did you catch her?
Slick as a whistle, and she was coming along the path. I went over to two, and I jumped out at her from behind a tree. I said, sister, this a man wants to see you. Should have heard her yelling. She's wacky, all right.
Well, take her up to number 13 of the West Bar.
She's there now. I'm going right through the diet kitchen. She kicking and screaming like hell. Look, I'll hold her if you come and undress her.
Just a minute, Wilson. Dr. Sanderson asked me to wait here for the brother to show up.
Make it snap.
Oh, you're Mr. Dow?
Elwood B.
I'm Miss Kelly.
Oh, here, let me give you one of my cards. If you should want to call me at this number, not that one. That's the old one.
Thank you. Won't you please have a seat?
Yes, I'll have two. Allow me.
Mr. Dow, Dr. Sanderson is very anxious to speak to you. Won't you please be seated?
After you, Miss Kelly.
Oh, I really can't. I'm in and out constantly, but please have a seat.
After you.
Can I get you a magazine?
Well, I'd much rather look at you if you don't mind, Miss Kelly. You really are very lovely.
Thank you. Some people don't seem to think so.
Well, some people are blind. This is very often brought to my attention. And now I would like for you to meet
Mr. Dow.
Oh, Elwood P. If you should want to call
I'm
me.
Dr. Lyman Sanderson, Dr. Chumpy's assistant out here.
Well, good for you. Happy to know you. How are you today, Doctor?
Oh, well, that's going to depend upon you, I'm afraid. Would you please be seated? I believe you've met Miss Kelly.
Well, I've had the pleasure of meeting Miss Kelly here. And now I would like for both of you to meet a very dear friend of mine.
Later on, be glad to. Won't you be seated? I wanted to say that after Miss Kelly. Sit down, Kelly. Is that chair quite comfortable, Miss
Yes,
Kelly?
thank you. Would you like to try it?
No, thank you. Now, Mr. Depp, I can see that you're not the kind of man to be taken in by high-flown phrases or beating around the bush.
Is that so, Doctor?
Yes, well, you have us at a disadvantage. You know it, we know it. So let's go ahead and lay the cards on the table.
Well, that certainly appeals to me, Doctor.
The best way I see it in the long run, people are people no matter where you go. And being people are liable to mistakes. And Miss Kelly and I have made a mistake here this afternoon.
The fault is really all mine, Mr. Dow, not Dr. Sanderson.
You're a human failure, like I said.
This interests me, nevertheless. You and Miss Kelly here this afternoon, you say?
We do hope you'll understand, Mr. Dow.
Oh, yes, these things are often the basis of a long and warm friendship.
And the responsibility is, of course, mine, not hers.
You're old-fashioned, Doctor, but I like it.
Now, if I had seen your sister first, Mr. Dowd, that would be a completely different situation.
You see, this surprises me. I think the world and all of Vita, but I suppose she had seen her day.
Well, you mustn't attach any blame to her. And she's a very sick woman. She came in here insisting that you were in need of treatment, which is obviously ridiculous.
I tell her not to get upset about me. I get along just fine.
Exactly. But your sister had already spoken with Miss Kelly, and there had been a call from your family lawyer, Judge Gaffney.
Oh, I know him, and I know his wife, too. Nice people.
Well, is there something I can get for you, Mr. Dowd?
What did you have in mind?
A light? Did you need a light? Now, your sister was extremely nervous and went right into a heated tirade about your drink.
That was Vita.
She became hysterical.
I tell her not to worry about that. I will take care of that.
Exactly. I suppose you do take a drink every now and then, same as the rest of us.
I do. As a matter of fact, I'd like one right now.
As a matter of fact, so would I. But your sister's reaction was entirely too intense. Mr. Dowd, does your sister drink?
No, Doctor. I don't believe Vita's ever taken a drink in her life.
I'm going to surprise you. I believe she has and does constantly.
I am certainly surprised.
But it's not her alcoholism that's going to be the basis of my diagnosis. You see, it is her insistence on this big white rabbit. I believe she called him Harvey. Harvey.
If Harvey's his name.
She claimed that you and this Harvey were persecuting
Oh, I've never persecuted her with Harvey. She shouldn't feel that way. Listen, before we continue, I must insist that I
her.
introduce
Let
you
me
to
make my point first, Mr. Dowd. This trouble of your sister's didn't just spring up overnight. It stems from trauma.
From what?
From trauma. It's spelled T-R-A-U-M-A. Nothing unusual about it. It stands for shock. There's birth trauma, which is the shock to the act of being born.
That's the one we never get over.
Very funny, Mr. Dowd. He has a very good sense of humor, doesn't he, Miss Kelly?
Oh, yes, Doctor.
May I say the same about both of you?
To sum it all up, your sister's condition is serious, but I can help her. She must, however, remain out here temporarily.
Well, I always say that Vita should get everything that she needs, but I wouldn't want her to stay out here unless she liked it out here and wanted to stay out here.
Exactly. Did Wilson get what he went after?
Yes, Doctor.
And what was Mrs. Simmons' attitude, Miss Kelly?
Not unusual, Doctor.
Mr. Dowd, if this were an ordinary condition, one that was on the memory picture, in other words, if your sister were seeing something she had seen before, that would be one thing. But it goes without saying that no one's ever seen a rabbit 6 feet high before.
Not very often.
I like that.
And I like you too. And I like Miss Dick Kelly here. I like you too.
So she must be committed here temporarily. Under these circumstances, I would commit my own grandmother.
Well, does your grandmother drink too?
No, it's just an expression. If you'll sign these temporary commitment papers.
Oh, you better ask Vita to do that. She does all the signing and managing for the family. She's really good at it.
Well, we can't really bother her at the moment.
Well, then maybe I should go talk it over with Judge Gaffney.
You can explain it to him later. Tell him that I recommended it. And it's not like you can't just drop in whenever you like and have a look around. I'll give you a full visitor's pass. When would you like to come back? Say Wednesday? Say Friday?
How about right after dinner? About an hour.
We don't usually do that, but guess so.
I'm not very hungry right now. I don't have to go.
Well, we're pretty busy around here. Miss Kelly and I have to be getting back upstairs. Lots of work to do. But I'll tell you what you might like to do.
What might I like to do?
Well, we don't usually do this, but if you go out through these doors right here and down the hallway to the right, you'll find the occupational therapy. Past that, to the stairway to the left, you will find the dive kitchen and the conservatory. Over on the other side, the library.
Right? For Vita's sake, I better do that.
Well, I truly enjoyed our little conversation, Mr. Dowd. It's a pleasure.
I've enjoyed it too, and meeting Miss Kelly here. You know what? Since we're all enjoying ourselves, why don't we keep right on? I'd like to invite the two of you down to Charlie's place for a drink. When I find people I enjoy, I want to stay right with them.
Sorry, we're on duty. Give us a rain check some other time.
When?
I really couldn't say right now. Me and Miss Kelly don't get off until 10 o'clock tonight.
Then I can come by at 10 o'clock. And Miss Kelly, you too?
Dr. Chumley doesn't really want staff fraternizing. But I guess it would be okay.
Well, then I'll come by at 10 o'clock with a cab, and the four of us will have a very happy evening. I hope the two of you become good friends with a dear friend of mine. You said later on, so later on it'll be. Goodbye.
That was a close shave. But that man was reasonable. He was proud, and I played into that pride. You get to almost anybody that way if you try hard enough.
Dr. Sanderson, you said you can get to anyone if you want to. How is that?
Oh, years of study and intense training, Miss Kelly. But there is one thing that bothers me about this whole Dow business.
What's that?
Having to make that date. Why, the man left here a good friend and a booster of the sanatorium. So I guess I'll go and have a drink with him, but you don't have to.
Oh,
No point. I'll go, I'll have a drink, pat him on the back. I've got a date tonight.
Oh. Well, by all means, I didn't intend to go. The idea bore me stiff. I wouldn't go if I never went anywhere again. I wouldn't go if my life depended on it.
What is going on? Kelly, why are you getting so emotional?
He may be a peculiar man with strange clothes, but he knows how to act. His stares were perfect.
Oh, yes. No, I saw you giving him the dull stare. I didn't miss that.
He didn't sit down till I sat down. He told me I was lovely and he called me dear. I'd go have a drink with him if you weren't going.
Oh, yes. No, you'd go. And look at him. I mean, what? He doesn't have a job. He sits in bars all day. Oh, he would go and you guys would have a lovely time together. You're just a wonderful girl, Kelly.
now let me tell you something, you. I've had enough here.
Miss Kelly,
Yes, doctor.
tell the gardener to prune more carefully around my prize dahlias along the fence by the main road. They'll be ready for cutting next week. The difficulty of the woman with the big white rabbit has been smoothed over.
Yes, doctor. The brother seemed quite reasonable.
Yeah. Well, I've known many people out here that saw animals. I've never known of anyone with an animal quite that large.
Yes, doctor. I believe she called him Harvey.
Ah. Yeah. Unusual name for an animal of any kind. Harvey is a man's name. I've known several men in my life named Harvey, but I've never before heard of any animal whatsoever by that name. Case has got an interesting phase, Doctor.
Yes, doctor.
Well, I will now go upstairs with you and look in on this patient. It may be that we can give her by formula 977. Well, I will advise you on prescribing the treatment, Doctor.
Thank you, doctor.
Now we ask, What is this hat and coat hanging up here? Whose is it?
I don't know. Is it Mr. Dowden's?
And no, Mr. Dowd had his hat and left. Maybe it belongs to a relative of one of the patients.
Give me the hat. Some kind of identification. What's this? What's this? 2 holes cut in the crown of his hat. See?
That's strange.
Oh, some new fad. Put it away, hang it up, get it out of here.
Hello, Dr. Chumley.
There you are.
Oh, how's every little old thing?
Oh, there. Becky wasn't there.
Look, somebody's gonna have to give me a hand with that Simmons thing. Order a restrainer jacket or something. She's terrible. Forgotten, didn't you? Yeah, well, I got a corset off all by myself.
Well, we're about to go up and check in on the patient now, Wilson.
She's in the hydro club now. My God, I left the water running on her.
Willie, remember your promise. Willie. Oh, hello, Dr. Sanderson. Willie, you haven't forgotten the Bluers cocktail party. We promised them faithfully.
That's right. Now, after we'll have to check on a patient. I'll be down shortly.
Make it a little quick diagnosis, Willie. We don't want to be late for the party. I'm dying to see the inside of that house. Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
I'm Mrs. Chumley, Dr. Chumley's wife.
Happy to know you. Dowd is my name, Elwood P. Here, let me give you one of my cards. If you should want to call me at this number, not that one. That's the old one.
Thank you. Is there something I can do for you?
What did you have in mind?
Well, you seem to be looking for someone.
Yes, I'm looking for Harvey. I went off without him.
Harvey. Is he a patient here?
Oh, no, nothing like that.
Does he work here?
No, he's my best friend, and he's also a hookah. He came out here with me and Peter this afternoon.
Well, where was he when you saw him last?
He was right here in this chair with his hat and his coat on that rack there.
Well, there doesn't seem to be a hat and coat around here now. Perhaps he left.
Apparently, I don't see him anywhere.
What was that word you said? Puka?
Yes, that's it.
Is that something new?
Oh no, as I understand it, it's something very old.
Really? I wonder why I hadn't happened to hear it before.
This doesn't surprise me. I hadn't heard it either until I met him. I do hope you get a chance to meet him. He would be quite taken with you.
Oh, really? Oh, that's very nice of you to say, I'm sure.
When he likes somebody, he expresses himself quite definitely. If he's not particularly interested, he'll just sit there like an empty chair or an empty space on the floor. Takes his time about people and very choosy, you see.
That's not a bad way to be this day and age.
He's very fond of my sister Vina, and that's because, well, he's fond of me, and Vina and I are the same family. Now you would think the feeling would be mutual, but Vina doesn't seem to like Harvey very much. That's rather too bad, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know, Mr. Dowd. I gave up long ago expecting my family to like my friends. It's useless.
But we must keep on trying.
Well, I suppose there's no harm in trying, I suppose.
If Harvey's told me one time, he's told me 1,000,000 times. I would do anything for you, Mr. Dowd. Mrs. Chumley,
Yes.
did you know Mrs. McElhenney's Aunt Rose is going to be dropping in on her quite unexpectedly from Cleveland tonight?
No, I didn't.
Neither does she. That puts you both in the same boat.
Well, I don't believe I know anyone named Mrs.
McElhenney? She lives next door to us. Wonderful woman. And Harvey was the one who told me about her Aunt Rose. And that is an interesting news item you can feel free to pass around.
Well, I
Would you like to go downtown with me? I'd love to buy you a drink.
Oh, well, thank you. But I'm waiting for Dr. Chumley, and if he were to come back and I'm gone, well, he's liable to raise. He'd be irritated.
We wouldn't want to do that. Some other time, baby.
I tell you what I'll do, however.
What might you do, however? I'm interested.
Well, if you, Dr. Chumley and I are going right downtown, 12th and Montview. Dr. McClure's having a cocktail party.
12 and Montview. You have a thing?
Yes, if you would like, if your friend comes back while I'm still here, I'd be happy to give him a message for you.
Certainly, I'd appreciate that.
What would you like to say in your message?
Tell him to meet me downtown if he has no other plans.
Meet Mr. Dowd downtown. Any particular place downtown?
He knows the place. Harvey knows this town like a book.
Harvey, you know where. Harvey what?
Just Harvey.
Well, if we go downtown, and when we get there, we could give your friend a lift into town.
Oh, I wouldn't want to impose on you, but I would certainly appreciate it.
No trouble at all. Dr. McClure is having a party for his sister from Wichita.
I didn't know Dr. McClure had a sister from Wichita.
Do you know Dr. McClure?
No.
But,
Are you sure you don't want to go downtown? I would be glad to buy you that drink.
well, I really have to wait for Dr. Chumley, but thank you.
Some other time, baby.
Thank you.
Well, it was a pleasure meeting you, Mrs. Chumley. And I hope that I get a chance to see you again soon.
So do I.
Goodbye. And if you see Harvey, you cannot miss him. He's really tall like this.
That Simmons woman is uncooperative, Doctor. She refused to admit she had this big white rabbit. She insists her brother. There. Give a crew of bees after 9 o'clock. Another one at 10. If she's still so restless. Another trip to the hygiene room at 8. And another one in the morning at 7. And then we'll find out if she's going to cooperate tomorrow, won't we, Doctor?
Yes, Doctor.
All right. You want to call me if you need me. Are you ready, Beth?
Yes, Willie. And, Willie, there was a man here while you were gone. His name was, here, have his card. His name was Elwood P. Dowd.
That's Mrs. Simmons' brother. I gave him full privileges to...
She is not to see anyone tonight, not anyone at all. Tell him that.
Yes, Doctor.
He didn't come to see her. He said he was looking for someone, a friend of his.
And who could that be, Dr. Sanderson?
I don't know, Doctor.
He said it was someone he came out here with that afternoon.
Was there anyone with him, Miss Kelly?
Not when I saw him, Doctor.
Well, he said there was. He said the last time he saw him, he was sitting right there in that chair with his hat and his coat. He was very disappointed.
Dr. Sanderson.
So I told him that if his friend turned up while we were still here, we could give him a lift into town. He could sit in the back seat. Was that all right, Willie?
Oh, of course, of course.
Oh, and here's his name. His friend's name is Harvey. Harvey. He didn't give a last name, but he said something else about him. Puka, but I never forgot what that was.
Harvey.
He said his friend was very tall and Billy, why are you looking at me like that? This was a very nice man, a polite man, and he only asked if he could give his friend a lift into town if we can't do a favor for someone. Then why are we living?
Oh, where did he go, Mrs. Sherwood? How long ago was he here?
Get me that hat. George will find out about
I
this.
don't know where he went.
Henry, it's Dr. Sanderson.
Yeah.
A man in a brown suit just leaves through the main gate.
Judge Gaffney.
He did.
Ah,
He's gone.
Judge Gaffney? It's Dr. William Chumley, the psychiatrist. after doing a routine check of the spelling of his name before we enter it into our records. Judge, you telephoned this afternoon about sending out one of your clients to be committed? Can you spell that name for me? With a W, not a U. Mr. Elwood P. Dow. Thank you, Judge. Dr. Sanderson. Oh, your name is Sanderson, I presume.
Yes, doctor.
Oh, you know that much, do you? You went to medical school. You specialize in the study of psychiatry. You graduated. You went forth. Perhaps they failed to tell you that a rabbit has two large pointed ears, and that the hat for a rabbit would need perforations to allow for those ears.
Mr. Dowd seemed quite reasonable this afternoon, Doctor.
Doctor, the function of a psychiatrist is to tell the difference between those who are reasonable and those who merely act or speak reasonably. Do you realize what you've done to me? Don't answer, I'll tell you. You have allowed a psychopathic patient to walk off these grounds and roam around with a big white rabbit. You have subjected me, a psychiatrist, to the humiliation of having to call, of all things, a lawyer to find out who came out here to be committed and who came out here to commit. Don't go, Wilson. I need you. I will now have to do something that I haven't done in 15 years. I will now have to go out after this man, Mr. Elwood P. Allen, and I will have to bring him back. And when I do bring him back, your connection to this institution is ended as of that moment. Wilson, get Doc. Cat, call the doors and tell them that so we can't fix it. Miss Kelly, come with me and we'll get that woman out of the tub.
Yes, doctor.
I'll have to call the mother. Tell her to be home for supper. She's very, very, very frustrated. Wilson?
Yes, ma'am.
Wilson? What's hookah?
Oh, what?
Hookah?
You can search me, Mrs. Chumley.
Oh, maybe it'll be in the encyclopedia. They have everything in there. Maybe it's a lodge. Oh, no, I cannot do this at this time. My husband will be so disappointed if he comes back down and finds me still here in a ring. Oh, dear. Oh, my. Oh, dear. Oh, my.
P-O-O-K-A. Hookah. From old Celtic mythology, a very spare in animal form, always very large. The puka appears here or there, now and then, to this one or that one at his own caprice. A wise but mischievous creature, very fond of rum pots, crack pots, and how are you, Mr. Wilson? How are you, Mr. Wilson? Who in that encyclopedia wants to know? Hell, this.
End of the hall. It goes to the third floor. Go right up. I'll be with you in a minute.
Well, where is she?
Where is who? Who do you mean, Judge Gaffney?
I mean your mother. Where is Vita Louise?
Why, Judge Gaffney, you know where she is. She took Uncle Elwood out to the sanitarium.
I know. But why did she call me at the club with
carrying on something fierce.
Mother carrying on? What about?
I don't know. She was hysterical.
Well, that's strange. She took Uncle Elwood out to the sanitarium. All she had to do was put him in. Did you find it? I'll be right up. They found it.
Who? Found what? What are you talking about?
Well, when Mother left the house with Uncle Elwood, I went out to the real estate office to put the house on the market. And what do you think I found there?
I am not a whiz kid.
Well, I found a man there who was looking for an old house, just like this one, to cut up into buffet apartments. He's going through it now.
Now see here, Renee. This house does not belong to you. It belongs to your Uncle Elwood.
But now that Elwood is locked up, Mother controls the property, doesn't she?
Where is your mother? Where is Vida Louise?
She went out to Chumley's Rest to tell them all about Harvey and put Uncle Elwood in.
Then why did she call me at the club in the middle of the game and scream at me to meet her here for something important?
I don't know. I simply don't know. Have you got the deed to this house?
Yes, it's in my safe. Merlin, I'm beginning to feel bad about this locking Elwood up.
Mother and I can take a long trip now, out to Pasadena.
I always liked that man. You know, he had everything. Brains, personality, friends. Men liked him. Women liked him. I liked him.
Are you telling me that once Uncle Elwood was like other men? That women actually liked him, I mean, in that way.
Well, not since he's been hanging around with that white rabbit Harvey. But they once did. Once, that little mailbox in front of your grandmother's house was filled with little scented notes, all for your Uncle Elwood.
Oh, I can't believe it.
There was always something different about Elwood.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
Oh, he was always so calm in a sudden change of plan. I used to admire him. I should have been suspicious. Now, you take the average man, sees a big white rabbit, he'd do something about it. But not Elwood. He was calm about that too, and look where it's got him.
Oh, you don't drink how far overboard he's gone on this rabbit.
Oh, yes, I do. Many a time he's had that white rabbit in my office. I may be old, but I don't miss much. What's that noise?
That's the guy on the 3rd floor. Mother! Look, Judge! Oh,
Hey, Louise! What's wrong, girl? Oh!
I never thought I'd let me sit down.
Okay. Would you like some tea? Give us some tea,
Oh, yes,
Merlin.
I'll get you some tea, Mother. Get her coat off, Judge.
Yes, sister. Merlin, get her coat.
Oh, leave me alone. Let me sit here and catch my breath.
Yes, let her get her breath, Judge.
Let me sit here and compose myself and then go up to my room where I can let go.
Oh, what happened to you, Mother?
Well, I just don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Oh, just look at my hair.
What did you do? What did you say? You must have done something.
I didn't do anything. I didn't say anything. I simply told them about Elwood and Harvey.
Oh, what?
Well, I told them about Elwood, and then I walked down to the cab to get his things, and as I was walking along the path, this awful man stepped out of the path. He was a white slaver. I know he was.
How did he do this? I don't understand it.
Well, he was in this white suit, and that's how they advertised. Well,
Oh, man, what did he do, Mother?
Go on, go on.
he after him. And he took me upstairs. And then, oh, he tore off my clothes.
Oh, did you hear that, Judge?
Oh my God, I'll sue them for this.
And then he sat me down in a tub of water.
Oh, for heaven's sake!
And then all these doctors came up and they asked me all these questions all about sex urges and all that sort of thing. Oh, Mark, that place ought to be cleaned up. You ought to send the authorities out there to clean it up.
I will. My God, I will. This stinks. It stinks to high heaven.
Judge, you've got to do something. You have got to say about it.
I will. My God, I will. If Joey thinks he can run this unsavory sanitarium on the edge of town, he'll be publicly shamed. I'll run him out of the state.
Judge, is that all those doctors think about up there? Sex?
I don't know.
Because if it is, they ought to be ashamed of themselves. It's all in their head. Why don't they go outside and take walks in the fresh air? Judge Gaffney used to walk everywhere for years, didn't you, Judge?
Here's the thing. I need to take some notes. Now, you said that the doctors came to talk to you. Dr. Chumley and, who was this other doctor?
Sanderson, but don't you believe a word he says, Judge. Don't you believe a word. He has got those close-set eyes. They're always liars. Besides,
Yes.
I told him something to strict his confidence, and he laughed.
Oh, what did you tell him, Mother?
Oh, what difference does it make? It doesn't matter anymore. I mean, you can't tell anybody anything.
You can trust us, Peter. Myrtle May is your daughter, and I am your lawyer.
I know which is which. I don't want to talk about it. I want to sue them, and I want to get up to my man.
But, Mother, this is the important thing anyway. Where is Uncle Elwood?
I should have known that I couldn't do something about him. Something always protects that awful puka.
Where is Uncle Elwood? Answer me.
What? They let him go. They're not interested in news in places like that. Don't be so naive, little lady. What's that noise?
Oh, I've got a buyer for the house.
Judge Gaffney, Myrtle May, you wait till Elwood hears what they did to me. He won't stand for it. Don't forget to sue them, Judge. Myrtle May, I hope as long as you live, you never let a man tear off your clothes and set you down in the tub of water.
Mother lost everything. No matter what happened out there, Uncle Elwood is still wandering around with Harvey.
Yes. I must remember that for our notes.
Oh, it's all Uncle Elwood's fault. He found out what she was up to and he had her put in. Then he ran.
Now, Myrtle May, don't talk like that. Your brother always thought the world of your mother-in-law. He always wanted to share everything he had with her.
Oh, I'm not giving up. We'll get detectives. We'll find him. And besides, you better save some of that sympathy for me and Mother. You have no idea what we have to put up with. Just wait till I show you something he brought home about 6 months ago and we hid it in the garage. You just wait.
I'm gonna go talk to Vita Louise. There's more to this than what she's saying. I sense that.
Just wait till I show you, Judge.
I'll wait.
Okay, is he here?
What?
Hey, Chris!
Who are you?
That crackpot with the rabbit, is he here?
No. And who are you?
Right here, Doctor. Okay. Dr. Chumley's coming in anyway. What is your name?
Chumley. Well. I have something to say to him.
What is your name? Let's have it.
Judge Gaffney. Judge Omar Gaffney. Now, where's Chumley?
The reason I ask your name is the doctor always likes to know who he's talking to. This guy says his name is Judge Gaffney.
Chumley! Well.
Good evening, Judge. Let's not waste time. Has he been here?
Who? Oh, what? No.
Now, sure he ain't been there. He's wise now. He's hiding. It'll be an awful job to smoke him out.
Yeah. It'll be more difficult, but I'll do it. They're sly, they're cunning. I'll get them. I always get them. Have you that list of places we've been, Wilson?
Right here, doctor.
Read it.
We've been to 17 bars, Eddie's Place, Charlie's Place, Bessie's Barn Dance, the 4th Avenue Firehouse, the 10th and 12th and 9th Avenue Firehouse, just to make sure. The Union Station, the grain elevator. Say, why does the guy go down to a grain elevator for?
The foreman is a friend of his. He has many friends, many places.
Well, I stopped by to ask Mrs. Simmons if she might have any suggestions or where else we might look for it.
Now, Dr. Chumley, I'm here to inform you that Miss Vita Louise Simmons has retained me to file suit against
What?
That's pretty
About what?
What happened is that an unfortunate accident. I've already dismissed my assistant and made it. I'm prepared to take on this man's case personally. It interests me. My interest in a case is something that no amount of money can buy. You can ask any of them.
Now, see here, Doctor.
Water under the dam. Now, this is the way I see it. I see it this way. The important item is to go out and find this man and bring him back to the sanitarium where he belongs.
That's just what I think.
May I introduce Miss Myrtle May Simmons, Mr. Dow's niece, Mrs. Simmons' daughter.
Yes, how do you do, Dr. Chumley?
How do you do, Mrs. Simmons?
Hello, Myrtle.
What oh.
Let me talk to Mrs. Simmons.
Oh, she won't come down, Doctor. I know she won't. You try to get her to talk to him, Judge.
Now, see here, Myrtle May. Your mother was manhandled. She was, I don't know what she was. This man's behavior was unprofessional. It was personal.
This is a serious charge, Wilson.
Dr. Chumley, I've been with you for 10 years. Are you going to believe, what's your name again?
Judge Gaffney. Judge Omar Gaffney.
Thanks. Are you going to take the word of this old blister Gaffney?
Wilson!
Me, and the dame who sees a rabbit.
It's not Mrs. Simmons who sees the rabbit. It's her brother Elwood.
Yes, it's Uncle Elwood.
Doctor, if you'll follow me.
Oh, very well, Judge. Wilson, I have a situation here. Wait for me.
Okay, doctor. So, your name's Myrtle May.
Yes.
Well, if we pick up your uncle, you're liable to be coming out to the sanitarium on visiting days.
Oh, I don't know. No,
I'll be there.
we will. Oh,
And if you don't see me right away, don't give up. Stick around, I'll show up.
will. Oh.
Sure. Thanks. You heard Dr. Chumley tell me to wait.
Yeah.
But tell you what, while I'm waiting, I sure could use a sandwich and a cup of coffee.
Oh, certainly. If you'll forgive me, I'll proceed into the kitchen.
Yes, sir. You're all right, Miss Myrtle May.
What?
Dr. Chumley noticed it right away, and he don't miss a trick. tell you something else too.
What?
You not only have a nice smile, kid, but you got something else too.
What?
The screwiest uncle to ever stick his neck inside of our nut house.
This may sound strange, but have you seen a rabbit about this tall? It's strange, of course, because he's tall. If you happen to see a rabbit, yes, Chumley's Rest. Is Dr. Chumley there? Oh, Mrs. Chumley, how are you doing today? This is Elwood P. Dow. By the way, Mrs. Chumley, have you happened to locate Harvey yet? Don't worry, I will find him. I'm sorry I missed you at the McClure cocktail party. The people were all charming and I left a lot of my cards. We stayed until you phoned in to say that you couldn't be there because a patient escaped. Oh dear. Where am I? I'm right here. But I'm leaving right away. I must find Harvey. Goodbye, my dear. My regards to you and anybody you come across. Goodbye.
Dr. Chumley, you may as well go home and wait. I'm suing you for $50,000 and that's final. What? Hello? Yeah, well, hang on.
Simmons, this picture over your mantel.
That portrait is the pride of this household. Hello? Yes? Who knows? This is Dexter 156
Who painted it?
Oh, I don't know. Some man. He came around for the sittings and we paid him and he went on his way.
I suppose if you got the money to pay people, you can persuade them to do anything.
Dr. Chumley, what did I tell you when you plucked me out of that tub of water?
How you expressed yourself. You don't remember the words.
I said, what a belated civility this is. Isn't that what I said?
Well, you said something of the sort.
Well, since you brought this up, here's the lesson, quick. I took a course in art last winter. The difference between a fine oil painting and a mechanical thing like a photograph is this. A photograph shows merely the reality. But a fine oil painting, it never really shows the reality, but the dream behind the reality. It's what celebrates life. It separates us from the beasts. Now, I wouldn't want to live if all I thought was eating, sleeping, and putting on my clothes and, well, taking them off and
Be casual.
Hello? Harvey? Hello, darling. Where are you? What? Just a minute. He won't tell me where he is. He wants to know if Harvey is here.
Well, tell him Harvey is.
But he's not.
Tell him. And that way, maybe perhaps he'll come here. Humor him. You've got to humor him.
Yes, Harvey is here, Elwood, but he can't come to the phone right now. I don't know what to tell you. Why? Hold on a minute. What do I tell him? We can't get Harvey to the phone.
Tell him Harvey's here, but he can't come to the telephone because he's in the bathtub. Tell him Harvey's in the bathtub, and you'll send him out there when he's finished.
Oh,
That way we'll know where he is.
Yeah.
Now, you have to do it this time.
Oh. Hello, Elwood. Harvey is here, like I said, but I can't send him to you right now because he's in the bathtub. I'll send him over when he's dry. Where are you? Where? Elwood? Elwood!
Did he hang up?
Harvey just walked in the door. He said to check the bathtub. It must be a stranger in there. But I know where he is. He's at the bar, Charlie's place, between 12th and Main.
12th and Main. That's 2 streets down and 1 over, isn't it?
Yes, but where are you going?
We're going over there to get your brother and bring him back to the sanitarium where he belongs.
Oh, don't do that. Send one of your attendants to do
But,
that.
Mrs. Simmons, if I'm to help your brother.
He can't be helped. There's no help for him. You've got to pick him up and lock him up and leave him.
Mrs. Simmons, do you consider your brother a dangerous man?
Dangerous?
Why?
Well, I won't tell you why. But if he wasn't dangerous, why would I be asking for permanent commitment for him?
And I must observe this man. I must see the expression on his face as he talks to this rabbit. Oh, he does talk to the rabbit.
Oh, they tell each other everything.
What's that?
I said, of course he talks to this rabbit, but don't go after him. You'll regret it if you do.
Nonsense. You underestimate me, Mrs. Simmons.
No. You underestimate my brother.
Not at all. Everything's going to be all right. I can handle him.
You can handle him. Mother May! See who's in the bathtub!
Not yet. I just spoke to the downtown dispensary. They
They haven't seen him.
This beginning to smell awful funny to me. I mean, 4 hours he's been gone and not work for him. Just want to say, I wish you a lot of luck, and I'm mighty sorry you got a kick in the crack. Act right.
Well, thanks, Wilson, and good luck to you too.
Hey, Kelly, let me know when you hear back from the desk sergeant. If there's no sign of the doctor, I'm going into town to look for him. They should know better than to go after a psycho without me.
Well, I'd like to help you look for Dr. Chumley too, Wilson.
That's like swell of you, right after he gave you the crush.
Well, I have no resentment towards Dr. Chumley. He was right, I was wrong. He's the biggest man in his field, and it's my loss not to get to work with him anymore.
You're not so small yourself.
Thanks, Wilson.
No mention.
Dr. Sanderson?
Yes.
Well, Doctor, I just wanted to say that I'd like to wish you a lot of luck too. I'm sorry to see you leave.
Are you sure you can spare these good wishes, Miss Kelly?
On second thought, I guess not. Forget it.
Miss Kelly, this is for nothing, just a little advice. I'd be a bit more careful if I were you about the kind of company that I kept.
I beg your pardon, Doctor?
Oh, you don't have to. I said it was for free. You see, I saw you Saturday night dancing with that drip in the Rose Room at the Frontier Hotel.
Oh, did you? I didn't notice you.
I'd be careful of him, Kelly. He had the look of a schizophrenic from all the way across the room.
You really shouldn't pay any mind, Doctor. He was my date, not yours.
That was his mentality. As for the rest of them.
But she was beautiful, though.
Who?
The girl you were with?
Oh, I thought you didn't notice.
Well, you bumped into us 3 times. How could I help it?
For your information, that lovely young lady is a kind, sweet person. And she knows how to conduct herself.
Funny she couldn't find a better date on a Saturday night.
Oh, and she has an excellent mind.
Then why doesn't she use it?
Don't suppose you are to be censured for your hard, flippant shell. I bet you're compensating for something.
I am not, and don't you use your psychiatry on me.
Oh, if I could. Oh, just once to see if you would melt under any circumstance. I doubt it.
You'll never know, Doctor.
Because I find you interesting as a case history. I'd like to know where you get that inflated ego.
Aren't you the meanest, inflated ego case history?
I'll come back when I'm finished.
Leave me alone. Chumley's Rest. Yes, Sergeant. No word on him downtown or in the suburbs. Listen, Sergeant, maybe we better... Oh, never mind, Sergeant. He just walked in. Mr. Dow.
Good evening, my dear. These are for you.
For me?
May I? They're fresh too. I picked them right outside.
I hope that Dr. Chumley didn't see you. These are his prized dahlias.
Not knowing, I cannot say. But those colors look lovely against your hair.
Oh, I've never worn burnt orange. It's such a trying color.
You would improve any color, my dear.
Thank you. Did Dr. Chumley go to his house?
I don't know. Where's Dr. Sanderson?
In his office there, I think.
Thank you. Oh,
Down,
I have a cab waiting outside. It's possible for you and Miss Kelly to get away right now.
Where's Dr. Chumley?
Oh, is he coming too? That's nice.
I don't know that.
I am so sorry for being a few seconds late. I felt like Miss Kelly should have flowers. You know, after this afternoon, they probably should have been coming from you. When you grow older and the pretty girls just pass you by, you will think with deep gratitude of the generous girls of your youth. Shall we go now?
Hold on a minute, Gal. The situation has changed since this afternoon. But you mustn't have any resentments. Dr. Chumley is your friend. He just wants to help.
That's nice of him. I want to help him too.
A positive attitude is half the battle. We all have to face reality sooner or later.
Doctor, I've been wrestling with reality for 40 years now, and I'm happy to say I finally won out. So, will we all go downtown to get ourselves some drinks?
Here you are, upstairs, buddy. We're going upstairs.
Oh, hold on, Wilson. Well, I think there's there's some mistake. I have a date with Miss Kelly here and Dr. Sanderson. We're going downtown for a drink. He would love it if you came along, mister.
Wilson.
Oh, Wilson, they have a wonderful floor show.
Well, when you see the floor show, we got upstairs. But...
Where did you say Dr. Chumley was at?
As I said, he did not confide his plans in me.
You mean the doctor ain't showed up yet?
Not yet.
Well, where is he?
Well, that's what we're trying to find out.
Mr. Dow walked in by himself.
Oh, he did, eh? Listen, you talk fast or I'm working you over.
I'd rather you not do that, and I'd rather you not mention such a thing in the presence of Miss Kelly.
Mister, Dr. Chumley went to go find you, and that was 4 hours ago.
Where has the evening gone?
Listen to that, smart ass.
Let me handle this, Wilson.
Well, handle it then, but find out where the doctor is.
Dr. Chumley did come into Charlie's place, you say?
Yes, he came into Charlie's place around dinner time tonight. It's a really cozy spot. You know what? We should all go down there and talk this over with a tall one.
We're going no place. Now I'm asking you a question, and if you don't button up your lip and give me some straight answers, I'm going to beat it out of you.
What you suggest is impossible.
And what's that?
You suggest I button up my lips and give you a straight answer? It can't be done.
You said that Dr. Chumley did come to, or Dr. Chumley did go into Charlie's place, you said?
That's right. He came over and asked for me, and naturally the proprietor led him to our table, and we exchanged the conventional greetings. I said, "How do you do, Dr. Chumley?" And he said, "How do you do, Mr. Dow?" And he said that at least once.
Okay.
I'm just trying to be factual. That's when I introduced him to Harvey.
To who?
A white rabbit, 6 feet tall.
6 feet.
6 feet 1.5.
Okay. You guys fool around with him while Dr. Tony Bobby bleeding to death in the ditch.
If those were his plans for the evening, he didn't tell me.
Go on down.
Well, he sat with us. I sat on the outside of the booth right out here, and Harvey was on the inside of the booth. Right here, with his back against the wall. And Dr. Chumley sat across from him so he could get a good look at him.
That's right. Spend all night on the seating arrangement.
Now, Harvey suggested that I buy him a drink, and knowing that Harvey does not like to drink alone, I suggested to Dr. Chumley that we join him.
And so?
We joined him.
Go on.
We joined him again.
Then what happened?
We kept right on going.
Skip all the joining.
You're asking me to skip over a very long portion of the day.
Come on, please, tell us what happened.
Well, Harvey and Dr. Chumley got into a conversation. Quietly at first, but then they started to get a bit heated, and Dr. Chumley raised his voice.
Yeah, wow.
Well, Harvey actually felt that Dr. Chumley should assume his part of the responsibility of the joining, the financial part specifically. But Harvey, or Dr. Chumley, didn't seem to want to do that.
I can believe that part of it.
Let him talk. This guy got stuck. See how far he'll go.
Well, I said I'd take on the whole thing. I didn't want there to be any trouble. Harvey and I go to Charlie's place all the time. The owner is a fine man with an interesting approach to life. And that's when the other matter came up.
Could you cut all the damn double talk? Get on with it.
Mr. Wilson, you are a sincere type of person, but I must insist you not use that language in front of Miss Kelly here.
You're right. We're sorry. You were saying the other matter came up.
Yes, a beautiful blonde woman came in, Mrs. Smethills, and her and her escort sat in the booth across from us. Dr. Chumley went over to talk to her, saying they had met once before in Chicago. At that point, her escort escorted Dr. Chumley back to our table and said he should mind his own affairs. And does he have any?
Does he have any what?
Does he have any affairs?
What? How should I know?
Mr. Dow, please hurry. We are all so worried.
Well, Dr. Chumley wanted to go to Blondie's Chicken Inn, but Harvey wanted to go to Eddie's Bar. I decided to go get myself a drink while they were arguing, and when I came back, they were gone.
Where did they go? Where did the doctor go?
I don't know. I have plans out here with Dr. Sanderson and Miss Kelly here. I figured I'd pick them up and we'd go downtown. Maybe we could run into Harvey and Dr. Chumley and make a party.
So you satisfied? You got the story. Look, you're lying. We know it.
I never lied, Mr. Wilson.
Well, you done something with the doctor, and I'm going to find out what it is.
Don't touch him, Wilson.
Maybe he isn't lying, Wilson.
That's all it's bunch of lies. But you two don't believe the story he tells about Dr. Chumley sitting there talking to a big white rabbit dude.
Maybe Dr. Chumley did go to Charlie's place.
And saw the rabbit, I suppose.
And why not? Harvey was there. At first, the doctor was frightened of him, but that grew into admiration as the evening wore on. I really like the sound of that. With your permission, I'm going to say it one more time. The evening wore on.
With your permission, I'm going to knock your teeth down your throat.
Mr. Wilson, do you have any old friends you can play with?
The nerve of this guy. He couldn't come in here with the ordinary case of the DTs. No, he has to bring with him a big white rabbit.
As stimulating as this conversation is, I really must be going.
Charlie's place? Yes. Is there a Dr. Chumley there? He was there earlier this evening with a Mr. Dow.
Well, don't bite my head off.
My, he was angry. He said Mr. Dow was welcome at his establishment anytime, but his friend is not.
That was Mr. McNulty, the bartender. He really is kind of fond of me. You know what? Now let's go down and get that drink.
Wait a minute.
Mr. Dow.
Yes, my dear. May I hold your hand?
Sure, if you want to. Isn't there anything else you can remember from time? Mrs. Chumley is so worried. Surely you can tell us something.
For you, I would do anything. I would almost live my entire life over again. Almost. But I've said it all.
Are you sure?
I'm quite sure. But why don't you ask me again? I really like the tone in your voice just then.
So did I.
Oh, no.
What?
Nuts.
Oh, I really must be going. I have things to do.
Mr. Dow, what is it that you do?
Well, Harvey and I, we sit in bars together. We have a drink or two, we play the jukebox, and the faces of others, they turn towards us, they say, "We don't know your name, mister, but you seem like a lovely fellow." Harvey and I, we just warm ourselves in these golden moments, because we've entered as strangers, and now we have friends. The same, those faces, they come over to us, they sit with us, they have a drink with us. They tell us all the big terrible things they've ever done, the big wonderful things they will do. Their hopes, their regrets, their loves, their hates, all very large because nobody ever brings anything small into a bar. And that is when I introduce them to Harvey. And Harvey is grander and bigger than anything they can ever offer me. When they leave impressed. Same face that seldom come back. That's envy, my dear. That's envy. I suppose there's a little bit of envy in even the best of us, and that's too bad.
Mr. Dow, how did you happen to call him Harvey?
Because Harvey's his name.
Yes, how do you know that?
Well, that's a rather strange coincidence. I was walking one evening down Fairfax Street between 18th and 19th. Do you know the block?
Yes.
I was helping Ed to get into a cab because Ed had been mixing his rye with his gin and I felt like he needed conveying. As I'm walking down the street, I hear a voice say, "Hello, Mr. Dow." And I turn and I see a great white rabbit just leaning on a lamppost. Well, I didn't think anything of it. When you've lived in this town as long as I have, you're used to people knowing your name. So naturally, I went over to chat with him. I said, "How are you doing?" And he said, "I think that old Ed Hickey seemed pretty spiffed this evening, if I'm not mistaken." He was not mistaken. I think the world and all of Ed, but he was pretty spiffed. Finally, as we're talking, I say to him, "You have the advantage of me. You know my name, I do not know yours." Right back at me, he says, "What name do you like?" I didn't even have to think for a minute. Harvey. Harvey has always been my favorite name. So I said to him, and this is the most interesting part of the evening, "Harvey." And he says, "What a coincidence. My name's Harvey."
What was your father's name, Dow?
It was John Frederick.
Dow, you were a child. You had a playmate, someone with whom you spent many carefree hours.
Of course I did, didn't you?
What was his name?
Vern McElhinney. Do you know the McElhinneys?
No.
Too bad. There's a lot of them and they love to circulate. Wonderful people.
Mr. Dow, think, wasn't there ever someone at some time that you knew by the name of Harvey?
No, nobody at all. I guess I just always had high hopes for her.
Come on, Wilson, we'll take him upstairs.
Take him nowhere. You made this your show, now you run it. Let him sit here and forget all about Dr. Jungle. This your show now. Run it.
Come on, Cal. Come on.
All right, Lyman. But I can't chat for too long. I promised Harvey I'd take him to the floor show.
Oh boy. Dr. Chumley, what's the matter?
What? Oh, being followed. Lock that door.
Who's following you?
None of your business. Don't leave me. No, doctor. Well, Wilson, you have to get that man down out of here.
Yes, doctor.
No, Wilson, don't leave me.
But you just said it.
Don't. I'm in trouble.
Yes, doctor. Duffy! Get that guy down his clothes and get him down here right away.
Wilson, don't leave me.
Just a minute, doctor. Judge Gaffney.
I want to see Dr. Trumley.
Hiya, murder.
We've got to talk to you. We've got to talk to you. This is serious.
Yes, it certainly is.
Yes, more serious than you may think. Where can we talk?
Oh, no, not in there.
Then sit down, Dr. Trumley.
Oh, man.
Sit down, little man.
Sit down, little man. Oh, Wilson.
Now, these are my notes. Just the facts. Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, we can all hear you. Is that good?
Now, Trumley, have you ever thought there might be something to this big white rabbit party?
Oh, well, of course there isn't. And anybody who thinks so is crazy. Well, don't look at me like that. There's nothing funny about it. I'm like my father's family, but they're all dead.
Now, my client, the plaintiff, this is Peter Louise Simmons, swears under oath that on the morning of November 2nd, while standing in the kitchen of her home, hearing her name called, she looked up and saw this big white rabbit. He was staring down at her, resenting the intrusion. She made certain remarks and drove him from her home.
Well,
He went.
Well, what did she say?
That's not important.
I want to
Dramatic.
know what she said. To drive that creature out of his head and bury him. I mean, from home.
Oh, I hate to have you tell him, Judge. It isn't a bit like Mother.
Yeah. She looked him square in the eyes and said, "To hell with you!"
To hell with you! Oh, and he went?
He went. But that's not important. The important thing is this perjury, or is it something that we can cope with? I ask your opinion.
Ruthie, I've been looking all over for you.
Oh, Dr. Trench. Please disregard what I told you earlier. I want you on my staff. You're a very astute young man.
Oh, boy!
Elwood out here, Doctor.
Oh, no. I want to get the sanitarium back the way it was before that man got here.
Oh, I know what you mean.
You do?
Well, it certainly gets on anyone's nerves, so if Uncle Elwood knows what's going to happen before it happens. This morning, for instance, he told us that Harvey told him that Mrs. McElhenney's Aunt Rose would drop in on her unexpectedly from Cleveland.
And did she?
Did she what?
Aunt Rose. Did she come as Harvey said she would?
Oh, yes. Those things always turn out the way Uncle Elwood says they will, but what of it? What do we care about the McElhenneys?
Well, you say this sort of thing happens often?
Yes, and isn't it silly? Uncle Elwood says Harvey tells him everything. Harvey knows everything. Well, how could he when there's no such thing as Harvey?
Fly specks. I've been spending my time among fly specks while miracles are leaning against lampposts at 18th and 10th Avenue.
Good. Nobody in here but people.
Oh, Mother, you promised you wouldn't come out here.
Well, good evening. I thought Elwood is bathroom. Now, why are you all just standing around? I thought you'd be committing him.
Have a seat, little Louise. Have a seat over there.
I could not.
Say, word of me. How about you and me stepping out Saturday night?
Certainly not. Come here, Marie.
I'm sorry.
Doctor.
Is it
What are you
settled,
doing?
Doctor?
What?
I asked him settled.
Doctor,
Whoa!
may I give a diagnosis?
Oh, yes, by all means.
Thank you, Doctor. It's my opinion that Elwood P. Dowd is suffering from a third-degree hallucination. And as for the other party, autosuggestion, I would prescribe shock formula 977 for Mr. Dowd and bed rest at home for him.
You?
Yes, Doctor. We've used this on hundreds of psychopathic cases.
Don't you call my brother a psychopathic case? There's never been anything like that in our family!
Oh, Mother, would you stop talking about Harvey as if there was such a thing?
Mermaid, you've got a lot to learn, and I hope you never will it.
Here he comes.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, Elwood. I brought you your bathrobe.
Thank you, Vita.
Doctor, what are we going to do? We have to do something.
We certainly must.
I should say so.
Oh, yes, it's imperative.
Well, while we're all making our mind up about it, let's go down to Charlie's and get some drinks.
Oh, Elwood, you're staying here.
Yes, Uncle Elwood.
Yes, son. Stay here, son.
I want to leave. You want me to stay? I guess an element of conflict in any conversation is a good thing. It means everybody's being heard and nobody's being left out. I like it. How did you get along with Harvey, Doctor?
Doctor, what is your decision? We need an answer.
Yes, we certainly do.
I need to be alone with this man. Why don't the rest of you go into the other room for a little while? I will have my diagnosis. No.
Do hurry, Doctor. Elwood, stay here.
Now, Mr. Dow, may I give you this chair? Now, may I give you this cigar? Now, Mr. Dow, is there anything else I can get you?
What do you have in mind?
Mr. Dow, what kind of man are you? Where did you come from?
Didn't I give you one of my cards?
And where on the face of this tired old earth did you find a creature like him?
Like Harvey the Puka?
Yeah, but is it true that he has a function that he can,
Gets advance notice? I'm happy to say it is. Harvey's quite versatile. Harvey can even stop a clock.
What?
Haven't you heard the expression, his face could stop a clock?
Yes, but why? To what purpose?
Well, Harvey says he can stop your clock, and then you can go wherever you like, with whomever you like, and go as far away as you like, and when you come back, not even a minute of time will tick by.
You mean that he can actually...
Einstein has mastered time and space. Harvey has mastered not only time and space, but any objections.
Listen out.
Does he do this for you? He says he's willing to, but I can't figure out any place I'd rather be. I'm always having a great time with whomever I'm with, wherever I'm at. I'm having to find time with you right now, Doctor. Karana.
Well, I know where I go.
Where?
I go to Akron.
Akron.
There's a cottage camp just outside Akron in a grove of maples. Cool, green, beautiful.
My favorite tree.
And I would go there with a pretty young woman, a strange woman, a quiet woman. And I wouldn't even want to know her name. And I would be just Mr. Brown.
Why would you want to know her name? Well, you may share the same acquaintances.
I would send out for cold beer. And then I would tell her things that I have never told anyone before. Things that are locked deep in here. Then I would send out for more cold beer.
No whiskey?
No, beer is better.
Maybe for you, Doctor, but she might like a highball.
But I wouldn't want her to talk to me. But as I talked, I would want her to reach out her cool white hand and stroke my hair and say, "Oh, you poor thing. Poor thing."
How long do you want that to go on?
2 weeks.
Wouldn't that get monotonous? Just Akron and beer and you poor thing for 2 weeks?
No. No, it would not. It would be wonderful.
I can't help but think you're making a mistake in not letting this woman talk. If she gets around at all, she might have some very interesting news items to share. And you're definitely making a mistake about all this beer and no whiskey, but your 2 weeks.
Oh, cold beer and Akron and one final thing. God damn it.
I think you need to lie down for a while.
No. Mr. Death. Could he, would he do this for me?
He could, and he might. I've never heard him say a word against Akron before. Say, where is Harvey right now?
Why, you mean, you don't know?
Well, last time I saw him, he was with you. You know what? He's probably down at Charlie's place waiting for me right now.
That's it. He's down at Charlie's.
Well, excuse me.
Oh, Mr. Now, don't go in there.
I couldn't leave without saying goodbye to Dr. Sanderson, my friend.
Mr. Death. Dr. Sanderson is not your friend. Those people are not your friends. I am your friend.
Thank you. And I am yours.
And this sister of yours is at the bottom of this conspiracy against you. She's trying to have me lock you up. She filled out commitment papers today. She has your power of attorney and the key to your safety box. She brought you down here.
My sister did all of that in one afternoon. Vita really is a whirlwind.
Hi, man. Have you no righteous indignation at all?
Doctor, my mother used to say to me, in this world, Elwood, she used to call me Elwood. In this world, Elwood, you're either oh so smart or oh so pleasant. For years I tried smart. I recommend pleasant, and you may quote me.
That is may. If I will protect you if I have to commit her. Would you like me to do that?
Oh no, Doctor, not unless Vita wanted it that way. Not that you don't have a fine place out here and all. I just think she'd be happier at home with me and Harvey and Myrtle May. Oh, Miss Kelly. Diviner grace has never brightened this enchanting face. That's fifth elegy. My dear, you will never look lovelier.
I'll never feel happier, Mr. Dow.
Well,
Yes, Doctor.
I wonder if I can remember any more of that poem.
Hey, remember this rabbit gag is good. Kelly never kissed me before.
You know, Ovid is my favorite poet.
All right. This way's
no,
up.
take your hands off that man, Wilson. Apologize to Miss Cal.
Apologize to him.
Apologize.
Look, I apologize. This way is the door.
If I leave, I'll remember.
One more thing, Mr. Cabot. Do women often come up and kiss you the way that Miss Kelly was?
Every once in a while,
Yes.
I encourage it too.
Hell with decency. I must have that rabbit. Go ahead and knock it.
Dr. Sanderson,
Just
I
to
leave
leave it
without me.
Doctor, do you agree with my diagnosis?
Yes. Send them all in.
Mrs. Simmons, Judge Gaffney, if you'll step in here for a second.
Is it settled?
Well, I find that I concur with Dr. Sanderson.
Thank you, Doctor.
Oh, that's wonderful. What a relief.
Good boy.
Well, let's celebrate. I've got a few new bars in the back of my book here.
This injection carries with it a violent reaction. We can't give it to him without his consent. Will he give it?
Well, he will if I ask him to.
Won't you give up this rabbit? I doubt it.
Don't ask him, just give it to him.
Blondie's Chicken Inn, Bessie's Barn Dance, Better Late Than Never, Benny's Drive-In.
Oh, Elwood.
We'll go down to Benny's Drive-In. We should telephone ahead and get a table. How many of us will there be, Vito?
Oh, Elwood.
Mr. Gaffney, I have a formula, 977, which would be good for you. Would you take it?
You won't see the white rabbit anymore.
But you will see your responsibilities, your duties.
Doctor, if you came up with this, I'm sure it's a very fine thing. And if I happen to run across anybody who needs it, I will gladly recommend it. For myself, I would not care for it.
Hear that, Judge? Hear that, Doctor? This is what we have to put up with.
Vita, do you want me to take this?
Elwood, I'm only thinking of you. You're my brother, and I've known you for years. I would do anything for you. That Harvey wouldn't do anything for you. He's making a fool of you, Elwood. Don't be a fool.
I won't.
Why, you could make something of yourself. You could be sitting on the water slope waterboard if you would only go over and ask them.
All right, Vita, if that's what you want, Harvey and I will go and ask tomorrow.
Tomorrow! Tomorrow! I don't want to live to see another tomorrow! Not if Myrtle May and I have to live in that house with that rabbit! Oh! Our friends never come to see us! We have no social life! We have no life at all! We're miserable! And maybe you don't care. I wish I was dead!
I always think that Vita should get everything that she wants. Vita, are you sure? All right, I'll take it. Where do I go, Doctor?
Mr. Sanderson's office,
It was only on the floor for
Be sure to say goodbye to the old fellow for me.
Doc, will this take long?
Just a few moments.
Wait. We'll wait.
Dr. Sanderson says it won't take long.
Now, Mother, don't fidget.
Oh, how can I help it?
Oh, how stunning. Mother, could you see me in a house dress code of this material.
Yes, dear, but let me get a good night's sleep first.
Excuse me. What? Come in. I'm looking for a short little. Oh, there you are. Hey, lady. You jumped out of my cab without paying me.
I forgot. How much is it?
All the way out here from town, $2.75.
$2.75. Let me get my coin purse. Well, I could have sworn I had it in here. Mermaid, you have any money?
Oh no, I spent that money Uncle Elwood gave me for my new hairdo for the party.
Judge, do you have $2.75 I can give this man?
No, just checks.
We don't take checks.
I know.
Dr. Chumley, do you have $2.75 I can borrow to pay this cab driver?
I don't happen to have my wallet right now. I don't have time to look for it. I have to get on with this injection. Sorry.
Well, I'll get it for you in a few minutes from my brother. He's here to have an injection, but you'll just have to wait.
You're gonna get me my money from your brother, and he's in there getting some of the stuff they shoot out here?
Yes, but it won't be in a few minutes.
Lady, I want my money now.
And I told you it would only be a few minutes. Besides, I want you to drive back into town anyway.
And I told you I want my money now, or I'm nosing my cab back to town, and you can wait for the bus at 6 in the morning.
Well, oh, the
I should say so.
What's wrong with you?
Nothing that 275 won't fix. You heard me. Take it or leave it.
well, the most unreasonable people I've ever met. All right, Dr. Chumley, please let Ellen step out here for just a minute. This cab driver won't wait.
Now, don't take too long, Howard.
Ellen, will you pay this cab driver $2.75? I forgot my coin purse. But don't give him any more. He's been very rude.
How do you do? That was my name, Elwood P.
Lofgren's mine, E.J.
And this is my sister, Mrs. Simmons. My charming niece, Myrtle Bay Simmons. Judge Gaffney and Dr. Chumley.
Hi.
Have you lived in this town long, Mr. Lofgren?
Yes, I lived around here all of my life.
And do you enjoy your work?
It's okay. I worked for the 8-pence cabs for going on 15 years now. And my brother Joe, he's been working for Brown cabs for pretty near 12.
So you work for Apex and your brother Joe works for Brown. Isn't that interesting, Vito? Here, let me give you my card.
Better get on with this now.
Of course, certainly. My sister and my charming niece live with me here at this address. Won't you and your brother Joe come for dinner some night?
Sure, be glad to.
When?
I couldn't come anyway for Tuesday. I'm on duty all the rest of the week.
Well, we'll have to have you on Tuesday night then. We'll be expecting you and delighted to have you, right, Vita?
Oh, yeah, but I'm sure this man has friends of his own.
Vita, we can never have too many friends.
Elwood, don't keep Dr. Chumley waiting. It's rude.
Here you go, and keep the change. We'll be looking for you and your brother Joe on Tuesday night, all right? Excuse me.
Sure. What a sweet guy.
Certainly, but you could have just as easily waited.
Oh no, listen lady, I've been driving this route for 15 years. I brought them out here to get that stuff, and I've taken them back after they had it. It changes them.
Oh, I certainly hope so.
And you ain't kidding. On the way out here, they sit back and enjoy the ride. They talk to me. Sometimes we stop and watch the sunset and look at the birds flying. Sometimes we stop and watch the birds when there ain't no birds. And look at the sunset when it's raining. We have a swell time, and I always get a big tip. But afterwards, ho, ho, ho.
Oh, what do you mean, afterwards?
They crab. They yell at me to watch the lights, watch the intersection, watch the brakes. They scream at me to hurry. They got no faith in me or my cab. Yet it's the same cab, and the same driver, and we're going back over the same road. It's no fun and no tips.
But my brother would have just you anyway. He's very generous. He always has been.
Not after this, he won't be. Lady, after this, he'll be a perfectly normal human being. And you know what bastards they can be. Nice to have met you. I'll wait.
Judge! Merlin! Stop it! Stop it! I don't want him to have it!
You can't do that. Dr. Tully's giving the injection.
Oh, stop it.
I don't want him to take it! I don't want Elwood like that! I don't like people like that!
Stop it. Do something
Oh,
different,
shut
Doug.
up! I've lived longer than you have. I remember my father. I remember your father. I remember...
all this commotion?
What's the trouble, doctor? She's sounding off again.
She wants to stop the injection.
You haven't given it to me yet, have you?
Not yet, but we're all ready. Oh, Wilson, kick Mrs. Simmons out of here.
Get your hands off me!
Rita,
What?
you don't know what you want. You didn't want to live with the white rabbit.
And what's wrong with Harvey? Myrtle May and Elwood and I want to live with Harvey. That's nothing to you. It's none of your business. You don't even have to come around. Elwood! Elwood!
There, Vita. Vita has had a busy day. She's all tired out.
Have it your way. I will not be interrupted at the club in the middle of a game, no matter what. No matter how big the animal is. Ugh.
Oh, come on, Elwood. Let's get out of here. I hate this
But wait,
place.
here,
Doctor, it's whatever Vita says.
Well, that's funny. There's my coin purse. I could have paid that cab driver all along. Harvey. Come on, little man. Come on.
Good night, Dr. Jones. Good night, Mr. Wilson.
Come along.
You know, Doctor, I've known for years what my family thinks of Harvey, but I've often wondered, what does Harvey's family think of me?
Here you are.
I beg your pardon, Doctor. Do you mind? You're standing in his way. Where have you been? I've been looking all over for you.